mystical reality, Christ, and engaging with that, meeting with that mystical reality. This is a really exciting topic. I want to look at how you can engage with it, how you can meet Christ in reality, in the heavens, in mystical experiences, and the foundation for all of that, and how it is impossible to be a Christian and not involved with mystery. It's part of it. Now, when we look at mystery, we don't mean something that cannot be solved. That's not how mystery is revealed in the scriptures. God is a God of mystery. That means that he has realities, truths, realities that are hidden within himself that he reveals at the right time. So Christ, the Messiah, was a mystery that is hidden until the right time, and then he came at the right time, and he's revealed. And in fact, he was very different to what most people expected. He was hidden within God and now made open and accessible. So it's no surprise then that the Christian life is about discovering reality that's hidden, that's veiled, that's not open, experiencing it as reality, and then perhaps you're able to show or demonstrate the reality of that hidden mystical reality through your life and around you. To me, that's mystical Christianity, because God works like that. It's in his nature. That's why faith is foundational for Christianity. Faith is not believing something that might be true, or it's not making something true by believing it. Faith is accessing a hidden reality and putting your trust in it. So if you're putting your trust in something that's not real, that's not faith, that's delusion. But Christ is a revelation of what God is like, that he loves us, that he came, died on a cross, and rose from the dead bodily so that we can encounter him and experience him by faith, that is trusting in the reality of who he is and what he's done. So that's mystery. And therefore you can see you can't be a Christian without being involved in mystery or being mystical, because we're trusting in things that are not yet visible. In fact, the scriptures are full of that. Paul would say, don't look to what is seen, but at what is unseen. Because the seen, he says, changes, moves, is temporary. We know that. But he's talking about there are unseen realities, not yet revealed realities, fully revealed, that are real, that are solid, that you can put your trust in, that you can live from. If I turn to the book of Colossians and use it as a framework, you see that Paul uses the word mystery several times. Paul says in chapter 1, verse 26, the mystery hidden for ages and generations, but now revealed to his holy ones. To them, the holy ones, God chose to make known how great among the Gentiles, the nations, are the riches of the glory of this mystery, which is Christ in you, the hope of glory. And here we have a mystery, that if you trust in Christ, what he's done, who he is, where he is now, if you trust in that, whether you understand it all or not fully, when you trust in it, then you engage that reality, and the future certainty, that is hope, the future certainty of glory manifesting through you is what you become aware of and focus on and live from, and it's going to happen. Christ in you, the hope, the future certainty of God's glory in and through you and with you. So in your walk with Christ, the more you rely on mystical reality, the more God's fullness is going to come through you. The more you rely on Christ in you, the hope of glory, the more that glory will begin to break through. The pinnacle, the central part of Colossians, the main message, if you like, that I think Paul is getting to is Colossians 3, verses 1 onwards. Since then, you have been raised with Christ. Seek the things above. Put your whole mind and thoughts on things above, not on things on the earth. For you died, and your life is hidden with Christ in God. When Christ, who is your life, is revealed, is manifest, then you will appear, you will be seen in that glory with him. So, since you have been raised with Christ, now what is this? This is the same root for resurrection. So, Christ died and rose bodily from the dead. And now Paul is saying, since you have been raised with him, set your mind, seek things above. Now, I haven't been bodily resurrected yet. I'm still in a body that's kind of decaying. But I have a future certainty of bodily resurrection in Christ. But here's Paul saying, I have been raised with Christ. Or he uses a word that's really not used by any other person in the New Testament, which is a joining up with Christ in his resurrection. I've been raised in Christ's resurrection. So although I've yet to see the full completion, the full redemption of my body, as Paul would put it, I've yet to see myself raised from the dead, or this body that's dying overtaken by my resurrection body, although I've yet to see that, I am, in effect, in reality, already raised in Christ. It's a mystery. It's a hidden reality that's not yet fully visible. So he's not going, all you have to do is believe you've been raised with Christ. It's not true, but if you believe it hard enough, things will change. If you believe it hard enough, then you will experience living in the heavens and heavenly realities and ruling with Christ if you believe it. It's not true, but it helps you psychologically. No, he's not saying that. He's saying, from the way God communicates reality, is it's true. You've been raised. From the overall perspective, you in Christ are raised. You're in him. You're seated with the Father in the heavenly realms. Wow, that's true. It's just hidden. And as it is manifest, it doesn't make it true by manifesting. The manifesting reveals it's true. So right now, as we're sitting here in Christ, trusting in him, we are also raised with him. We're in Christ, in the heavenly realms, seated in the place of authority at the right hand of the Father. Wow. The more we discover that reality, the more we encounter it, the more it will break through into this aspect of our life, our bodily presence, our soulish expression. But Paul says, now set your mind on things above, not on the earthly systems. And let's get this clear. When Paul says earth, he's not meaning the planets and the solar system and the universe. He's talking about the land and the way that humanity and the way that people rule the land. So like the Roman Empire, the systems of the world that engage with created reality. He's saying, don't put your weight there, because that is what is visible. The greater reality is invisible. And the true you, he says, is invisible, because your life is hidden with Christ in God. Wow. The true you is not yet seen. This is kind of what John was saying when he said, we don't yet know what we will be like, but we know this: when we see him, we shall be like him. In other words, there's an unveiling of our likeness in him. Now, Paul is operating from this revelation. We're in Christ. We're seated in heavenly realms. Sure, I'm being persecuted right now. I'm being beaten, but we are actually in Christ in heavenly realms. And the more I rest in that, the more his authority and power breaks through me. And I willingly allow myself to be persecuted, he says, because I want to fill up in my body the sufferings of Christ in this life, joining in with Christ's sufferings, he means, for the salvation of people, for the breaking in of God's kingdom, because that's how God lives. I'll allow that to happen, even though I'm a ruler in the heavens in Christ, because that's how Christ rules. He serves. You can live from that hidden reality. And it doesn't start with seeing it with your eyes, or even with your imagination, or hearing it with your ears, or even hearing it in your imagination. It starts with the flick of the switch in the depths of your heart of faith, of trusting in the fact you have been raised with Christ. And something in me can start to rest and engage with that now before I see, hear, feel, taste, touch. I rest in it. I'm seated with him. I'm in Christ. And Christ is in me. And as I start to rest more and more in that reality, it will break through into my experience. I will start to see things, hear things, engage things in the heavens, which will result in change on the earth. So you are living from a hidden place in Christ. That is your life.